So consider this for just a moment, because this is a really good opportunity to understand something that we've been talking about. So you want to be an uplifter. So you have to continue to activate and keep active your knowing that you are an uplifter, and you have to give no attention to whether you are uplifting anyone or not. Because in doing so, now you're aware of their response to you, which is where it goes wonky. You have to leave their response to you out of it, because that's on them. And only do it for your response to your own desire. Do you know, there are those who will not be uplifted. If you've got your eye on whether they're being uplifted or not, then you lose your connection and then you feel bad. So this has to be a singular intent only. I do it. Why? Why do I do it? I want to feel good and I want to be in alignment so that I can uplift them. Because now their response to you is part of the equation, and that's where it always gets muddled. So stop for just a moment. Imagine your inner being. Or imagine a cluster of inner beings which you want to call Source. Try to get a visual on Source aware of all of you. And do you think Source is ever saying, look at all those suckers of energy? And you know why Source would never feel that way or think that way? Because Source remains in the replenishing mode. And so there's never any drag. There's never any drain. And not so with you either. So that wasn't our intent to point out to you that there is a drain. We just want you to feel the never-ending replenishment that is always yours, because we really want you to hear this. You cannot focus too specifically when you are tuned in, tapped in, turned on. But you can focus too specifically when you're not. This is a really good conversation, because the thing about that is, so you're tuned in, ideas start to come, you're flowing with them, and it's good until it isn't. So when it stops feeling good, does that mean that the work that you did before is irrelevant, or does it just mean leave it there for now? That's what we call don't try so hard, don't try to make it happen, don't try to push the noodle. Here's the thing, if you've let it get to anxiety, then there's nothing for you to do in the moment, because everything you try to do to get rid of anxiety will cause more anxiety. That's why we say, let's get out ahead of it. Don't fall in the hole and then try to climb out. Stay away from the hole. That's what we mean by getting out ahead of it. Be nicer to yourself. Give yourself more time. Do the things that soothe you most. Don't get depleted and then try to fix it. Do the things that encourage the opposite of depletion, which is renewal and replenishment. Find a time to meditate and do more basking and get off to yourself and let yourself daydream. Because if you're out ahead of it, more momentum can happen. But if you've caught yourself in resistance and you try to fix it, the momentum follows the resistance rather than the allowing. Does that make sense to you? Whatever's most active within you, that's the direction that it's going to go. A while back, and Esther demonstrated it for friends the other day, we encouraged Esther to take a piece of paper and in one corner write something that was representative of good things she wants. And in the other corner of the paper, we asked her to put a symbol that was evidence or an indicator of things unwanted. And then we asked her to make herself a dot right in the middle of the bottom of the paper. And then we asked her to just begin daydreaming. And so she thought a thought that was in harmony with all the good things she wants. We just began drawing a little line from where she was in that direction. And as she thought more, then more. And as she thought more, then more. But eventually, and quicker than she would want to admit, but it was perfect and fine, she got somewhere where she thought a thought that started to go off this way. In other words, it was a action thought, a what I need to do thought, or an old belief thought. But because she had some momentum already going that way, in the moment that she started to go that way, she caught it and then thought a better thought about that, and off she went again. And then another thought sort of tried to take her over there, but she caught it and thought a better thought, and off she went. Now this is another way. In other words, you can, if you're in a good feeling place and you are sensitive to the way you feel, You can think the thoughts deliberately. You could meditate and get tuned in, which would lead you to blissful thoughts. And then you could